coming around. The video game Madden's coming around. Hard Knocks is going to be back. We got the all-season Hard Knocks. We got the receiver doc. What else am I missing? We just had soccer. We got the U.S. Open coming up.
We got the British Open next week.
The British Open coming up. So you got all this stuff happening, and the Giants are telling me, Farhan's telling me, man, don't watch us. Farhan Zaidi's basically telling us we're going to sell again.
I mean,
in this market. We're going to sell again? Really? So... And we're back to the point where we were last season where we got 2 damn starting pitchers and only one of them giving you 6 innings.
But the irony is I want them to sell because I want them to acknowledge how bad they are. Well, like, they're not a real contender.
But if they sell, are they firing Farhan Zaidi?
Well, they should. You know,
because they didn't fire him last year.
You know, there's this funny thing. It's so funny. In the media, people are like, I don't ask for people's jobs. Dog, people ask for my job every day. Every single day on every platform, someone's saying, fire Joe Shasky.
Yeah,
all right? So guess what? Guess what? I just want, Bonte, you and me, when we're just a little dirty little secret. Farhan makes significantly more than you and I will ever make.
He's paid.
He is financially secure. He's going to be fine.
He's
all
going
right?
to be fine.
And if you're as smart as you think you are, Farhan, you'll find the next job.
You'll get another job.
Right?
You'll get another job.
That being said, this whole I don't ask for people's jobs. Dog, people ask for my job every single day. They want my head on a platter every day on everything. So I have zero qualms with telling you how I feel. You know what the guy in the You know what the guy in the bleachers is saying? The guy in the bleachers eating a hot dog, drinking a beer, who just spent $100 to go to the game, $100 to park, $100 on food, okay, and is sitting there watching a mediocre, and I love you, but Brett Wisely at bat roll over to second base. You know what he's saying?
I'm not mad at him.
No, I'm not mad at Brett Wisely, but you know what he's saying? Get Farhan out of here.
Dude,
that's what the normal fan says. So all you media elites that have...
Oh, no, leave the media alone. It's not, no, it's not media elites.
Let me cook.
No, don't go at the media. It's not their problem. No, they're covering the team.
There's this misnomer that you can't ask for people's... I don't do that. I'm more sophisticated.
Well, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
No, there's a few people in the market. And here's what I would say. And this is what I'm saying. That's not how real sports fans talk. You know how real sports fans talk? Get freaking Trent Baalke the hell out of here. My tickets are too expensive, and the team sucks. And you know what they did? They found John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. It's one of the greatest things that ever happened. Thank God they did that. Could you imagine if they rolled one more year with Chip Kelly and Trent Baalke? Well, where would we be?
Well,
where would we be?
Well, we wouldn't be here, right? But, to the point where, let's get into that. Asking somebody to get fired, because I see it with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr won 4 championships. People want him fired. Bob Myers helped construct a roster to win 4 championships. They want him fired. You know what I'm saying? People I've seen, hell, SF Gate. Alex Simon's the editor for SF Gate. God bless his soul. And I love Alex. That's my little brother. But they had an article last week saying that Joe Lacob basically should sell the team, that he's ruined everything. And I thought the article was trash. Absolute garbage. Hot garbage. And it was
crack come into play for you.
Seriously, look up the headline from SF Gate. It was one of the worst articles I've ever read.
I don't believe you.
No, swear to God. SF Gate last week. Look up the headline. Get it right. SF Gate. Basically, I'm seeing people say Joe Lacob needs to sell the team.
Well, if he sells the team, he better buy the Giants then.
Well, he wants to buy the Giants. He's been interested in buying the Giants. Trust me.
I would love that.
Trust me. He's interested. He's been interested in getting to baseball. Peter Guber's already locked in with the Giants. With the Dodgers. So to your point about people asking for jobs every day, somebody's in my DM said, your ass should be fired. I can't wait. In 2017, there's these clowns talking about, we're going to throw a party when you get fired from 95.7 The Game. When Papa drops you like a bad habit, we're going to throw a party on this happen. You're not going to hear the end of it. Well, I'm still surviving. It's 2024. I'm still here. So the whole, we want you fired, this and that, people do that all the time in all walks of life.
Every walk.
Every industry.
My brother worked in it for a union for a long time. When the job was done, you get fired. You get in a fight with your journeyman, you get laid off.
Right.
Like, I know so many people in the trades right now that have been laid off for X, Y, and Z reasons. That's the real world. The real world is you go out there and sometimes the company goes under, all right? And you might be individually not that bad at your job. But guess what? Well, our IPO didn't go real well, and the stock is tanking. Guess what? We're downsizing. Inflation's through the roof. Like, hello, this happens everywhere. I don't know if you're paying attention. businesses aren't doing well right now.
Not in this city.
And I look at the Giants and they're not doing well.
No, not in this
city. You tell me a business in America that would take the results the Giants have given them over the last 6 years and say, yep, we're hitting all our quotas.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not at all. So, the whole firing thing, like, I've been out on Farhan for a few years. I've been out on Farhan for a few years. And I came into the season with an open mind saying, you know what? I'm a little excited about this team. I'm going to see it play out. Quote unquote, they went all in. Actually, Scott Boras pimped the Giants, knowing that they would be a team desperate to sign free agents. And they looked around the league. Nobody was biting on Chapman. Nobody was biting on Snell. So Farhan finally did. And what's that corny ass joke he told? I should get a medal of honor. What is that damn joke? Go pull that up. What's the headline from SF Gates?
The one you were referring to, Lacob. Yeah, this is it on Twitter. This was from July 1st. Joe Lacob has completely broken the Warriors. Stephen Curry's biggest doubter has now finally killed the Warriors is the name of that. It's like, what are we doing?
The article was awful. And now to Alex Simon, if you're listening, because Alex Simon, I know he listens.
The guy that wrote this, the columnist was Alex Seguig.
And I've never heard of him. And it was a terrible article.
Could you imagine?
Alex Seguig, whatever your name is, that was awful.
Eddie DeBartolo, after winning the 4th Super Bowl, and they 2 years later, they trade Joe Montana. Eddie DeBartolo's got to sell.
He's broken the Niners.
He's broken the Niners.
The biggest Steve Young doubter is Eddie DeBartolo. The biggest Jerry Rice doubter is Eddie DeBartolo. Saying that Joe Lacob's a Steph Curry doubter.
I love this line in the paragraph. I'm reading it. What we are witnessing in real time is the absolute eradication of the light years mythology, the rending of Warriors exceptionalism.
Chris
Cohan missed me with all that crap.
Chris Cohan's best season couldn't sniff this last season that the Warriors had. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. So,
come on.
So to your point to your point about not talking about firing people and this and that, people want to fire the owner of the Golden State Warriors. After 13 years of having the biggest success the Warriors have ever had in franchise history, and people want Joe Lacob to sell, which is asinine, it's stupid, and I read that article thinking, I got dumber reading this. And I read it to Alexander Simon after the Yankee game. He came up to me and we talked. I said, man, after all the, we talked to Ricky Pearsall. A lot of the fans on Twitter call him White Boy Rick or whatnot because he's a guy from Detroit. He's got the swagger.
I'm not going to lie. I'm here for all of his, he does these little, all these drills and these breakdowns.
I'm all for Ricky Pearsall. But remember that interview? We had a lot of fun. We had him on for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was great.
And they wrote an article, SF Gate, Bay Area radio host tell Ricky Pearsall not to say San Fran, to say Frisco. It's like, that's your takeaway? That was a throwaway line at the end of the interview. They did it again to us when we were talking about Buster Posey maybe managing this team and saving us. Oh, Buster's the family man. These guys are like, shut up. Alex Simon, I love you, dog. You're my guy. You're my guy. We gotta dial it down, dude, at SF Gate. I like your site. We gotta dial it down. You're getting clicks. Maybe that's the goal, is to get clicks. So and guess what? People are clicking. Well, when you click on this, it's time to get Farhan out of here. And if I'm the Giants, I would highly consider giving him the pink slip in the next 3 weeks. You cannot come out again. You cannot come out and tell the fan base here in the Bay Area they're losing 2 or 3 to the Blue Jays, who got sell written all over them, and you go out there and say, yeah, we put all the chips into this team. We're disappointed, and if we don't turn this thing around over the next week or so, we're probably going to sell and play a lot of the younger guys. Well, how much younger can you get?
All right, so I see a comment here on the YouTube channel that I need to address. These guys that are saying this about Farhan said the same thing about Sabian from 2003 to 2009.
We didn't say that. We weren't on the air.
You have to learn your history. Like, this is the thing. I see a lot of people criticizing whether it's Bochy, whether it's Sabian, whatever. When Brian Sabian took over the Giants, they didn't have a lot of assets. They were in a weird spot. They were trying to build up to get ready for the stadium, all right? And they were clearly chasing a better farm system with the Dodgers, who had 5 consecutive Rookie of the Years.
Yep.
Look it up. Look it up, youngsters.
Yep.
He made 2 of the greatest trades to that point in Giants history. Allen Watson for JT Snow.
Yep.
And he traded away Matt Williams for Jeff Kent.
Yep.
2 of the boldest trades
moves
you could possibly come up with.
Never forget it.
Landed them the best slugging second baseman of that generation and the best defensive first baseman, arguably, of that generation.
Yep.
All right? And then he swung at the 97 deadline and had the greatest haul the San Francisco Giants have ever had at a deadline, bringing in 3 different players and Joe Carter.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. Who was it? Danny Darwin, Francisco Alvarez.
Yep,
and,
the lefty.
And who was the last
Jose
player?
Mesa.
Jose Mesa. I always forget the last player.
And it was one of the most impressive trade deadlines. They win the NL West. Okay, in 1997, they had no business doing it. One of the famous Rod Beck bases loaded scenes. Bonds jumps up in a different game, jumps up
on the
onto the dugout.
Yep.
Everyone remembers it.
Yep.
It singularly got everyone in Giants land so fired up for that team. Now, they ended up losing to the World Series Marlins.
Yeah, they got swept.
And I believe a young Edgar Renteria had two different walk-offs, if not three.
They got swept.
Right? And the next year, 1998, they go all. This is back when you only had the 4 playoff
They had
teams.
to play the one extra wild card playoff game against the Cubs, and they lost to Steve Traxel.
Exactly.
And
And Bonds
Wrigley
was back.
Field. But you know what? We know what happened the game before? They had a chance to
I
win,
know.
and they blew an 8-0 lead at Coors Field against the Colorado Rockies.
So from 97 through 2003, it was the most fruitful playoff run the Giants have ever had. All right? They obviously go down to the wire against the Mets in 0-0, the home run with JT Snow. 0-1, all the way down to the final weekend. 0-2, they go to the World Series. 0-3, they win wire-to-wire the NL West, and they end up losing to the Marlins, who ended up winning it all on the JT Snow play at home with Ivan Rodriguez. Then he completely went in a different direction and started developing players after all the trades and the acquisitions. And let's not forget Jason Schmidt, one of the great trades in Giants history. One of the great trades in Giants history.
Getting from Pittsburgh, no doubt. They also got Javi Lopez.
Brian Sabean did it via trades, via free agency, via development. He completely revamped his style. When I look at a Brian Sabean team, it is literally the template for how you assemble a team.
But you know what? You bring up Brian Sabean, right? And I hear all these, this dumb guy Heath on YouTube. By the way, YouTube brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union for a low rate auto loan. Apply online or just ask for the First NorCal Financing. Got the dealer. The thing about Brian Sabean and I see these young punks on Twitter talking about Sabean did this, he didn't draft this, he didn't draft that. One thing I knew about Brian Sabean, if the Giants were in a race, he was always in buy mode. Always in buy mode. Right now, Sabean would look at the standings. How can I buy to put this team over the top? He wouldn't be talking selling. He wasn't thinking about that. He was thinking about buying at all costs. So he retools the team. But you know what? You know what? Some of these Giants fans don't deserve Brian Sabean. Because the Giants themselves, in a way, had disrespected Brian Sabean. How the hell is he not on the Wall of Fame yet? How the hell has he not had a ceremony yet? We just got him into the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame. And it was like, it took this long to give it to the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame. He should have been a living GM into the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame for what he did from 97 to 03. So the Giants don't even have him on the Wall of Fame right now. So the Giants, in a weird way, have totally ignored all the success that Brian Sabean gave this organization. So in a way, they deserve what they're getting with Farhan Zaidi, and they deserve what they're getting with the results on the field because of the way they disrespected the Godfather in Brian Sabean for having a great run, damn near 20 years.
It has a very, and look, the DeBartolos, the Yorks, excuse me, have pivoted and they've learned from it. But it has a very Yorkian feel early on when they said, no, Bill Walsh, we don't want to have anything to do with you.
Disgusting.
And they kind of wandered in the desert looking for their identity. Did they not?
This franchise, you know what? Now that I think about it, the Giants right now, they deserve this.
I know.
They deserve this for the way they've done Brian Sabean. Now that I'm thinking about it.
You know what, B? This is the thing about Brian Sabean. And everyone will be like, well, Joe, yeah, okay, he got JT Snow and he got Jeff Kent and he got Hunter Pence and he made all these trades. Okay, yeah. But he traded for Shea Hillenbrand and Ryan Garco. You know what, though? My guy was always bold and he swung big. It reminds me a lot of the Kelly Oubre deal from Joe Lacob.
Joe Lacob.
You
had to
show
do it.
me a guy who's going to swing big and I'm showing you somebody who cares.
Thank you.
Swing big.
Because people don't realize, he's Hillenbrand and Garco. A lot of these kids, they're telling me that they weren't really watching Giants baseball at the time or they were too young to watch it. Because when they made those trades for those players, there was a need. And you know what Brian Sabean said? I need to buy something. We got a shot. I'm going to buy anything.
Was good.
Hey, look, he was with the Blue Jays for a long time.
He wasn't bad.
Garco with the Indians had some power. You know what I'm saying? But you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
I will never fault Sabean for always trying to buy.
I agree.
He bought Sidney Ponson. Sidney Ponson fell flat on his face when he traded for him from
Orioles.
with the Orioles.
Oh, my God.
And you know what? Sidney Ponson flamed out in game 2 of that series against the Marlins, got rocked by the Marlins. And you know what? I'm not mad at Sabean. He was all in. He was all in with Kenny Lofton. Helped the Giants go to the damn World Series, right? So this whole thing about Brian Sabean had his flaws or whatnot, sure he did. But it was the greatest run in Giants baseball history. So the people that are criticizing Brian Sabian, you know what? Giants deserve it because he doesn't even got honored. And that's a real president of baseball operations. And guess what? Now he's laughing with the New York Yankees, and I know they're struggling, but he's scratching his belly saying, at least I know I'm going to be in the playoffs. AL East, I know I'm going to be in the playoffs.
And I know you keep talking about like, hey, Giants, you're telling me you're going to sell, so you're telling me to turn the channel off.
You are.
I'm letting you know this right now. I went into hibernation when it came to football after that Super Bowl. I did. Like, honest to God, we faked it a little for the draft and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, no, we were in hibernation.
I was down bad. Like, and I'm not joking around about depression.
Shasky, we didn't even bring up football on our show calls. We were the fakest. I still think of it. Whenever I see Allegiant Stadium on the receiver dock, I get a little depressed.
A little.
I get a little depressed.
Look, I'm not trying to like make light of depression. I'm being dead serious. It physically makes me ill.
Right.
When I think about how that went down, that was their best team. I mean, I think that might have been the best team in my lifetime, like of an adult life, at least for sure.
Yeah, adult life.
And I'm saying to myself, like,
maybe 2011, but
I had to go into hibernation.
Right.
And I'm watching this receiver doc, and all I keep thinking, because it's got two Niners, Debo and Kittle. And all I'm saying to myself is, y'all better be ready, because when football season is right around, I am ready to turn the page.
Well, no,
and get away from the four horn and go right into football.
Shasky, you know how much soccer saved the summer for me? I'm not gonna lie to you. I became a rabid soccer fan. I'm all in because of how bad and how poorly the Giants play on a day-to-day. I can't get a starting pitcher to give me 5 innings. I got to see. And Ryan Walker's pitched well. Sean Jelly's had a good season.
Poor guy's arms are going to fall off.
You just said Randy Rodriguez's arms are going to fall off. They're throwing him out there 3 innings at a time. Dude, Spencer Bivens had to take a chill pill.
Bonte, these guys are on pace for 85 appearances. You should not be pitching every other day.
But you know what? Again, I said it last year. Well, actually, last year I took a different tack. I told fans to flat out not spend a dime on the Giants. And a lot of people came up to me saying, yeah, we ain't spending nothing on this team. Well, what's going to happen the last 2 months of the season? August and September. Guess what? Families are going to save up for football season. They're going to save up for single-game 49er tickets. They're going to save up for training camp tickets that are getting sold for $10 a pop for season ticket holders, $20 a pop for non-season ticket holders. People are going to say, oh, the Olympics. I'll stay at home and watch track and field. I'll watch swimming. I'll watch cycling. I'll do whatever I got to do to stay away from the damn orange and black because they're stale. That's a stale baseball team.
So here's a great question. What the hell happened to Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, I know.
Can we get into that?
Yes, we can.
Because I'm watching this receiver doc, and the thing that keeps coming back, and I said it to Spadoni right when I walked in, and I didn't even know that you were going to go there. You walked in, and you said something to me, and then we both said, what happened to Jimmy Garoppolo?
What happened to Jimmy?
Let's have a little fun. Because the Giants aren't fun.
No, we're having fun.
No, the Giants are not fun.
I'm having fun crushing these guys because they deserve to get crushed. I've treated the Giants with kid gloves all season long. Enough's enough. I got the president of baseball operations before the All-Star break talking about, it's been a real disappointment. We pushed a lot of chips into this team. We need the players to show us what direction is right for us. You bought the players. You traded for the players. You developed the players. This is your team. This is your organization. You went to Costco and bought all the groceries for us. And now you're talking about selling and seeing younger players? Greg Johnson, Larry Bear, please. You want to save this organization? You want to get the fans hyped up? It's time to give Farhan's ID his pink slip. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. Get him out of here. More coming up.